Now is not the time to replace your bond funds, amigos. I just so I just got done watching a video from Bloomberg on YouTube where they're talking about the buffered ETFs, and Amar has sent this to me because Amar and I just did a video on this just about a week ago where we talked about buffered ETFs, and it's pretty interesting. So Bloomberg just came out with this video just the other day. And just as a side note, Amar and I we go live every other Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. 1 p.m. Eastern Time every other Wednesday, so we'll be going live next week. So if you want to join the live stream and bring your questions, love to have you. But anyway, so Bloomberg was talking about, buffered ETFs can be protection against downside. They call them baby boomer candy, and it's, that sounds good. And I'm like, yeah, I got no problem with that. But when the host asked the guy who is in charge of the ETF research, like what they might replace their portfolio with these ETFs, what do you think he said? He said, the bond side of your portfolio. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, because in 2022, the bond side did not hold its own like it was supposed to. 2022, the bonds got smoked. And the bonds did not give us the reprieve from the stock market chaos like what we expect in a 60-40 portfolio. I'm like, what? I was like, dude, but that's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I mean, a once-in-a-century thing. The idea that the bond market will exhibit the same level of volatility, aka otherwise known as violence, as what we saw in 2022 is just absurd. We've never seen the market and bonds go down as much as it did in 2020, ever. The AGG, the aggregate bond index, was down how much? 13%. It's never happened like that before, ever. Even Ginnie Mae's got smoked, and I've always been a fan of Ginnie Mae's. And then my bond fund, which I wasn't in then, and I have been since a year ago, I've been getting smoked for a year until about a month ago, and that guy was down, 55, 60% or something like that. The U.S., the EDV, Echo Delta Victor from Vanguard. I mean, you definitely don't buy it. If I own it, you stay away. But anyway, that's the zero coupon U.S. Treasury long bond fund from Vanguard, ETF. And anytime you have volatility, the most volatile bonds are always going to be the highest credit quality with the lowest yields, the lowest coupons, and the longest maturities. All right, so highest credit quality would be U.S. governments, the lowest coupons would be zero coupons, and longest maturities would be long 30-year bonds. And I just got skunked in those, dude. And I avoided much of the violence that came. Why would I get rid of it now? As interest rates are going to start going down, and at least the interest rates aren't going to jump from. Remember, it's 0.2. The Fed funds rate in 2021 was basically a quarter, 25 basis points. It went from that to like 5 1/4. I mean, the level of absurdity of thinking that could happen again it boggles my mind. So why would you get rid of your bonds now when you've already had the downside has already been baked into it? You don't get rid of them now. That's crazy talk, man. Especially if the interest rates go up, keep going down, you're going to get some upside appreciation on these bonds, dude. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. You could lose some if interest rates go down, for sure. I mean, if interest rates go up. Is anyone expecting interest rates to go up? I'm not. I mean, it could. But the level of volatility that we witnessed in 2022 is never going to happen again. I hate to say never because I don't know. I'm not God. But come on, dude. The likelihood of that ever happening again is so minute, it's not even worth it. So if you've already been along for the ride and you're worried about volatility, the bonds aren't the issue here. And this is what happens in my industry all the time. They're always after the fact. People get they always do this. People get scared of XYZ, so we'll make a product that can avoid XYZ. But XYZ was rear view mirror looking. We got to look forward looking, not rear view. We got to look forward. And forward looking says bonds look attractive to me because you're getting a good yield and the violence is already behind us. Again, I don't know. It could happen again, sure. Will it ever happen again like 2022? Look, man, I highly suspect not. Why? Because it's never happened before. I mean, for the interest rates would have to go, I don't know, to freaking 20%. For that kind of level of violence to happen again, it's just, come on. Anyway, so the point being is, this is what the industry always does. Oh, you're scared about tech stocks. We're going to have an ETF that won't have tech stocks in it. And you're like, okay. But then why are you scared about tech stocks? Because in 2000, 2001, and 2002, they got killed. All right, no more tech stocks. All right, well, it would have been nice if we would have said that in 1999. All right, we don't want floating rate funds. We won't have any floating rate funds after 2009, whereas previously people were saying floating rate funds are the cat's meow. Why? Because floating rate funds give us never had a down year, and they gave us high returns relative to the risk we're taking, supposedly. And it turns out, oh, that worked until it didn't. So now no more floating rate funds, but it already got smoked in it. Yeah, exactly. So it won't happen again. Well, it's not likely to happen again anyway. And the industry is always backwards looking, and they just do it to appeal to what the customer wants. Customer wants risk mitigation on the downside. We'll offer them buffered ETFs, all right? And what are we buffering against? So in that case, we're buffering against what? Bonds. But why? Well, because in 2022, bonds got killed and they didn't do what they're supposed to do, which is give us some risk mitigation themselves. Yeah, when is that ever going to happen again? So doggone frustrating. And this Tesla guy is so doggone frustrating too, because he doesn't know what he's doing, and now I got to get in front of him. ICE just busted you, Tesla. By the way, one time I was bashed on EVs. I said the ICEs are more efficient. And everyone's, I didn't mean efficient in terms of, what I meant is the ICEs are more efficient in internal combustion engines and your ability to get in there and drive, all right? You don't have to worry about a charge. You don't have to do, I can drive. It's more efficient as a family unit to get in there and to drive a long ways. You have more efficiency in terms of my ability to go and fill it up with gas so I have to wait 20 minutes. More efficiency in terms of your ability just to plug on in and go where I want to go without having to worry about if I can keep a charge or not. That's what I meant. So everyone's like, you don't know anything about electric vehicles. That's what I meant about efficiency. From a family perspective, ICEs are much more efficient than an electric vehicle. That's just a fact. Jack. Anyway. Look, you can replace your bonds all day long if you want. I would not replace I would not use buffered ETFs as a replacement of my bonds, though. I mean, if anything, the buffered ETFs would be a replacement for stocks, because stocks are still much more volatile on a regular basis, and they're still. I mean, I don't even know what the market is doing today. Probably not doing well. So, love your thoughts. God bless. We'll see you.